Elite male rules. Never date your friend's ex. Always have your boy's back in public. Never repeat something another man told you in confidence. Always let the boys know before you call it a night. Never let a friend go home with someone sketchy. Always tell your boys the truth before someone else does. Never go for a girl your friend had feelings for, even if nothing happened. Be the kind of man that your boy would trust with his wife, his kids, and his life.
So, you're not single, and I'd like to ask you, when you were single, would you have gone to a dating event on your own, or to a kind of party for single?
When I was like properly in the whole like dating phase, I think one of the sort of like apprehensions was the fact that you turn up and usually there'd be a load of guys. So with that, there felt like a bit of an imbalance. So it didn't feel like you probably actually had much of a chance of actually meeting a girl.
Unpopular opinion, a good man becomes a better man whenever he has the right woman that supports him, the right woman that brings calm to his storm, the right woman who's not nagging and complaining 24/7 whenever he's grinding and he's hustling and he's trying to figure things out. When he has that woman who has his back, when he has that woman who understands what he has going on in life, who listens to him and just supports him, that man is going to become a better man.
Excuse me. Excuse me.
Hey.
Hey, this is super random, but honestly, you look like someone that I would regret not talking to. So I wanted to come up and say hi to you.
Hi.
You're very cute.
Thank you. I have a boyfriend.
I'm gonna myself.
Don't. I love the boldness and the confidence.
All right.
You know?
Yeah, thank you.
I'm like, keep doing it.
Yeah.
You know?
I'm glad you like it.
I know.
Yeah. Flattered?
I am, actually. If I didn't have a boyfriend, I'd give you my number.
Sure. Okay. Have a great day. I'm glad I could bring some positivity to it.
What's going on, fellas? Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment down below. Let's get back to the video. You know, modern women continue to talk about why don't men chase? Where are the men who court? Where are the men who pursue? I'll be standing right behind you. I'll be standing right alongside you. I'll be standing right in front of you. But you too busy looking at Chad to ever see where I am.
You have a lot of women saying, well, there's just no gentleman anymore. You know, there's no gentleman. I want a gentleman. And I think part of the problem is that guys don't know how to behave anymore. You know, they were gentlemen for a really long time. They were opening the doors. They were doing all this stuff. And then modern feminism slides in and says, don't do that for women. They can do it for themselves. That's so condescending of you to try to open that door or try to pay for that dinner. So a lot of guys just said, okay, fine. I'm not going to insult you by being a gentleman, so do it yourself. So guys are trying to figure out now. They've got some women saying we want a gentleman, and they have other women saying we're insulted when you act like a gentleman. I think they're like, what do I do? A lot of time, and a lot of guys are just confused.
What takes a guy so long to make the first move?
I would say it's fear of rejection. I just think that's a lot of dudes' problem, and we're not willing to like say that because you got to be like strong and tough. But like fear of rejection is so real, and to like put yourself out there, especially when they don't know much about you, you're putting almost your value in their hands for a second to go, are you worth it or not to me to even go out on a date? That is so vulnerable. Now I know that's a lot of pressure to put on a girl. That's not like, you don't need to hold that pressure, but that's what a guy can feel. You want to is this balance on like playing it cool versus like being too into it at the start. And so I think that's what guys think through also, is like, you're calm but kind of freaking out. And how do I give the calm, cool, confident, yet inside I'm kind of like, oh man, I'm a little like, and I think that's what we're balancing. And it's like hard to know what response you're gonna get. So there's this like war going on.
What modern women don't really understand is that when you don't appreciate your man, then his effort in you, his investing in you, starts to slip, and you wonder why he's not giving it to you anymore, because you don't really, if you do, you don't act like it, but you really don't seem like you like him.
And most people think they're good friends. If you ask most people, are you a good friend? Most people would say, yeah, I'm a good friend. And so I said, have you sacrificed that meeting to hang out with a friend? Do you call your friends on their birthday and sing them happy birthday, or do you just put a thing on social media saying happy birthday because you saw everybody else put it on social media? You know, when a friend is depressed, do you go over to their house and climb into bed with them and sit and watch movies and eat ice cream all day and be depressed with them? You know, have you done all those things? Have you ever said to your friend, I love you? Not love ya, not love you, I love you. Have you done those things? Are you a good friend? And the way to prove that those things matter, has anybody ever done that for you?
For example, a woman never tells you what she's thinking. She only tells you what she's feeling. And a man doesn't tell you what he's feeling. He only tells you what he's thinking. That's why they're always arguing, because they think they're listening to each other. So when a woman says to you, get out, don't come back, don't leave. Don't pack your bag, brother. That's just the way she feels at the moment. If you leave, she'll you. And when a man says, woman, you're stupid, it doesn't mean that's what he feels about you. That's what he calculated and he analyzed for the moment at the present condition, that you seem to be acting a little stupid. So he doesn't mean that you are a stupid creature. He's analytically assessing your present state. Why? Because a woman is emotional, but a man is logical.
Ladies, listen. If you want guys to do stuff for you, you got to do stuff for guys. And just take a minute and consider what... I feel like guys never get credit for what they do actually do, right? So a guy could go to the store with you and, you know, $300 worth of groceries and pay the bill for those groceries, bring them home, and then step out to get some work done. And you're like, are you going to help me cook this? I mean, right? It just rubs me so wrong.
Modern women don't understand. In one breath, you can't call a man unnecessary, not needed. Well, you know, your skill set is obsolete. And then in the next breath, all the men, they all passing me up and nobody stopping to help me. Huh. I wonder why.
Man, listen, last summer, one of my guy friends told me the best way to meet a man is to go out solo dolo. That's right, baby. 1 is a magical number. Here is part 2 on 5 places you can go to find a single man. Number 1, an after 5 networking. Get him before he goes home for Monday Night Football and Saturday Night Strip Club with the boys. On second thought, you might not want him. Number 2, the gym, baby. Prime time hours are before 7 a.m. and after 5 p.m., baby. My gym be smelling like Mary Jane Funk and Hinge. Number 3, the dog park, baby. Bring your dog or borrow somebody else. And let the dogs play while mama handles her business, okay? Number 4, a live sporting event, baby. I don't care if you don't know who's playing. Half the time, I don't. I just root for the cute guy, whatever team he rooting for. Let's go, Miami Hornets! And finally, number 5, your guy friend's birthday party. Or his house party, because single black men attract other single men, okay? January has been a busy month for your professor. I done tested every single one of these concepts and it worked, baby. I didn't always get a good number, baby, but it worked. So did I get it right, fellas? Let me know in the comment.
So his intentions don't count unless it's woman's emotional labor, and then your thought does matter? And how did you respond to that? When he said, I was going to get you flowers, did you be like, oh, okay? Or did you be like, oh my gosh, I would have loved that. I would have been so excited about that. That would have been beautiful. That would have been wonderful. I would have loved it. It showed some enthusiasm. Because sometimes a man will test the waters to see if you're going to appreciate his efforts. And that's kind of his way of doing it sometimes. And let's be real here, we don't always follow through with the things that we want to do or our intentions. Otherwise, I would have pre-ordered that Pokemon game already. Do you mock him when he actually tries to do something? Do you paint it as not good enough? Or do you show genuine appreciation and enthusiasm? Because if you don't give a man at least that, he's less likely to do things for you. And it makes sense, because why would you give someone something and go out of your way if you know they're not even going to like it or appreciate it? Also in this day and age, sometimes men are worried about being considered like corny or something. Am I allowed to say that word? So he might bring that up as a way of testing the water to see kind of if you're cool with that. I know some men are afraid to even open the door for a woman because he's dated a woman in the past that has gotten mad at him for that.
You see men finally starting to walk away in mass and disappear from approaching, from courting, from pursuing. It's probably because your risk, your cost benefit has shifted too far away from it being worth it. A lot of men like to say the juice isn't worth the squeeze.
Unpopular opinion. Being a man has to be one of the toughest jobs in this world, because when I hear some of the requests that these women have and how they can contradict themselves when they telling you what they want, I get confused. You're not allowed to be sensitive, but how dare you not open up and talk about how you feeling? I need you to be a leader, but you need to understand that I'm not going to follow you and you can't lead me anywhere. I want you to be strong, but show some kind of vulnerability, but not too much, because now I'm going to think that you're weak, because strength and vulnerability can't seem to coexist. I want you to be there for me at all points and times, but understand that I'm still going to be very independent and not need you for certain things. I need you to read my mind, but don't assume you know what I'm thinking. Be financially stable, but have a whole bunch of free time, even though it takes time to make money to take care of this family. I want you to meet all my needs, but don't assume you know everything that I need right off top. How is it that when you don't know exactly what you need and what you want, he's supposed to know? When you hear it out loud, don't it sound silly?
And another thing you have to understand is that modern women, they keep on trying to make men feel guilty about backing up, about not helping, about protecting themselves, staying to themselves. That's a form of protection. Well, how come a man won't protect me? How come a man won't provide? How come a man is going his own way? Because you've shown that man that you're a bona fide problem. You've shown that man that you're not safe to be around. You've shown that man that you can't keep your mouth closed, especially when it matters. And I'm not about to put myself in danger messing around with you.
You never chase it. No means no, man. When she's giving you signs and being like this and pulley backy, do not keep going. That ain't a sign to say, well, let me step forward. You look like a moron. Do not chase, man. Take the hint and move it forward. It's going to do one of two things. Either one, she's going to say, oh, thank God. Or number two, she's going to be like, wait, where he going? Yeah. And either way, it's going to make her realize, because she's used to mother effers, she's used to mother fudgers just like you, doing this to her all day. Do not do that, because let me tell you something right now real quick. There are guys that she wouldn't do that to if she didn't mean it. She wouldn't say no to him if she really didn't mean it, because she had one shot, because that dude who stands on business is not going to sit around and keep poking her and be like, how about now? Now you're free? How about now you're free? You sound like a chump. You need to get your together. No, it's one approach. It's one show interest. If she does not reciprocate, you bounce. You bounce, man. I promise you. I promise you. It will not work out the other way. It will not, the ball will not bounce in your direction. Okay? Trust me, you're gonna hit my DM and say, thank you, man. Thank you for saving my freaking time. Because I was wasting time chasing something. Don't ever chase. Chasing implies that she's obviously not that interested, and you keep pressing it. This isn't back in the day, man. Better get shit together. Ta-ta.
A lot of men like women, but they don't like feminine energy. Because feminine energy leans on masculine energy, and you need to be masculine to be able to deal with it. Because let's think about it. At the surface, a woman is very playful. She's very intuitive. She's very empathetic. There's so many things to love about a woman at the surface. But after all of those things, she then goes to being vulnerable. And then she surrenders. And then she leans on a man. She then depends on a man. She then becomes insecure about her man. She then becomes emotional about her man. And those are all qualities that a real masculine man should be able to deal with. Because when you masculine, you don't mind communicating because you're ambitious. And when you're ambitious, you're goal driven, you're action driven, you're doing driven. So if you have real ambition towards taking care of the woman that's around you, that ain't nothing but another challenge. But masculinity is confused as being these big dog, macho man ass people. No, masculine energy is all predicated on feminine energy. And if you can't deal with feminine energy, then you're not really that masculine. Masculine ain't no macho man. It's being able to be the problem solver for all of the problems that the feminine have. And that's what the feminine energy is, being the problem solver for all of the problems that the masculine have. So it goes hand in hand. But I do feel like there's a lot of lust attached towards women rather than love attached to women, because if there was real love there, then you wouldn't have no issue dealing with a woman's qualities when she really taps into them. So if you don't like feminine energy, then you're just not masculine. And that's just the way that I see it.
You know, a lot of these modern women talk a lot of trash. A lot of trash. Well, I don't need no man. I don't want no man. But you know, if it just happens, it happened, yada, yada, yada. But then you get out there and you experience the real world. And you experience, oh shoot, all of that bravado I had, and all of that sticking my chest out, and all of that, oh, I don't need him, he this and that. All that's going to go by the wayside. once you figure out, man, maybe I didn't talk too much and I can't do it alone.
You don't want a soft life?
I mean, God is going to have a mate for me that is going to allow me to still be me. I'm a big energy. I'm a big personality. To play the background, I don't think that's not the husband that God would have for me.
But can't you be in the front ground with a soft life?
That's a good one.
Because I'm a big personality. I'm a lot to deal with.
You'll be in here cooking. You'll be
but wouldn't you be cooking? You wouldn't cook, not one meal?
I make a mean reservation and I watch a mean plate. That's what I do. And I need, because there's no need for me to say, oh, you know, I'm going to make you this, bake you a cake and a pie.
Never?
That's not my ministry.
But what if sometimes?
Oh, definitely. Sometimes.
Okay, yeah.
But it's not on a regular.
Daily.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't even see myself cooking daily unless there's children.
But see, sir, you want kids, and I'm 47.
I mean, I don't know if that will happen for me.
I'm gonna babysit Sarah's kids.
Period. Auntie Tay.
Right? I'm coming to get them, and they're gonna say, she takes us to restaurants.
Yeah.
That's what the kids. She takes us out to eat.
So, okay. So, what if you meet a man that is handsome, tall, successful monetarily speaking, makes you feel so soft and gooey, and one of his deepest desires is for his wife to make him a meal 4 nights a week? Could you do that?
The cold approach died when approaching became a crime. It's really what happened, right? So when you started recording men, started insulting men, shaming men, doing all this other dumb stuff, that's when men said, oh shoot, this not for me. Oh, this not the life for me. Oh, she's not that cute. Then, oh man, you know, I got dressed up, I look cute, and no men approached me. Have you ever audited the way you act when men come and approach you? Have you ever thought about that?
You're scared to be alone, and you would rather be with any piece of somebody rather than being by yourself. And the sad part is, you know, whatever little piece you're getting is probably taking more from you than he's giving. You know, you're doing things for him. You are taking time for him from your children. He's not adding to you at all. And the fear of just not having a man, so you'll take any kind of man that can do whatever he wants. I mean, that's such a sad way to live. You're not divorcing a guy that you haven't seen forever. For some reason, you feel you need to be connected to a guy. You're a grown woman. You're a beautiful woman. You're an educated woman. You are going to school. You have 2 children. You can make it on your own. You don't have to be a punching bag for somebody else's ego in order to be okay. Let that go. Let that go. You are not defined by who you're with or if you have anybody at all. You are defined by the progress that you make within yourself and for your children. And he's blocking your light. You spending your time chasing around a guy who's got nothing to offer you. He doesn't even have fidelity to offer you. And you're taking it. You know what I mean? Nothing.
Saying not all men is protecting male privilege.
No. Saying all men is actually promoting irrational thought.
For thousands of years, men have been benefiting greatly from the standard set by other terrible men.
Really? And why would that be?
Men as a group don't want too many good men out there. Actually, they want to keep the standard of being a decent man as low as possible.
I've noticed that a lot of individuals that make these sorts of comments probably have never actually interacted with that many men.
A good man is often seen as a traitor within the male group. That's why they mock any man who doesn't follow the patriarchal norms.
What types of terrible men do some of these women associate with?
A man who keeps great hygiene of himself, who looks after himself, will be called
right.
A man who respects women, treats women well, will be called simps or beta male.
Just imagine how their opinions might actually change if they started actually interacting and conversing with normal men. You know, the ones with actual self-esteem.
When a man is actively trying to improve himself, he's actually doing something dangerous to other men. He raises the standard for what a man can be. His actions proved that men are completely capable of doing better and the rest just couldn't be bothered. But have you seen how quickly they are to defend once, even when he's a rapist? Because deep down, he's trying to make excuses for himself.
No, that's not what most normal men do. Where are some of these ideas even coming from?
The existence of bad men lower the standard for everyone, and majority of the mediocre ones benefit from it. And for men who have spent their whole life benefiting from it, baseline, that's a loss they will not accept. So saying not all men is protecting low standard, is protecting male privilege of never having to try.
I think I'm going to need a map to actually be able to follow that convoluted stream of logic. But I am going to maintain that anyone that says all men is just using it as a justification to be intellectually lazy.
I'm trying to get my coochie scratched. I'm trying to get my coochie scratched and eat a nigga be eating nigga today in London. Period.
No, she belongs to the streets.
Maybe we should just break up.
You want to break up?
Yeah.
So you have your mind set on this. And you sure this is what you want to do?
Yeah. What's that?
Leave.
What?
Go ahead.
Excuse me?
If you want to break up, go ahead and leave.
Why are you telling me to leave right now?
You want to break up, saying I'm cheating on you. Go ahead.
You're not even gonna try to like stay with me or anything like that. You're like giving up so easy and telling me to just leave.
I'm telling you the truth to every question you're asking me, and you said it yourself, I'm not believing you or I don't believe you. What else am I supposed to do? Am I supposed to get on my knees and beg for you?
Yes.
Yeah.
What do you know? I don't mean that much to you. I'm not your everything. Like, you're not gonna sit here and beg me to stay. That just also, like, makes me feel like you're cheating. You're not even fighting for me.
You should know that you mean the world to me, but telling me I'm cheating. Have I came home showing any signs that I'm cheating on you? Do I have any hickeys? Do I smell like perfume? Do you see any messages on my phone? Or, like, I don't understand where you're pulling this from.
Well, I don't look through your phone, but you came home late today and then you haven't even responded to me. Sometimes you can go, like, hours without telling me anything, and it's like, I feel like you're cheating.
I feel kind of, like, disrespected in a way because I would never.
I feel disrespected because you're cheating on me.
So go.
So you admit you're cheating on me? You're telling me to go?
I'm not cheating on you. I would never. But if you want to break up and this is how you feel, go, since you don't trust me.
You don't need to be at the bar looking for men. You need to be at the bait shop between 5 and 6 a.m. on a Saturday morning. They all are hot and jacked. It's crazy.
You need to bring more women for your husband. Trust me, the moment you accept this, your life's gonna change. Men need more than one woman, and men crave more than one woman. See, the thing is, we don't want to say this to ourselves. We prefer to say, I'm enough, but it has nothing to do with you. As a matter of fact, when you understand this and have this real talk with your husband, when you understand this, the bond you have with your husband will be unbreakable.
Oh my God, I'm so nervous.
I still got it. Hey, what color is the bowl?
Huh?
What color is the bowl? What color is the bowl?
Purple. Wait. Green. Oh, the green.
Green.
I've seen men leave 5-10-year relationships and turn around and marry a woman.
The reason men will leave long-term relationships for a new woman and move on like that is because of something called the 90-10 rule. Basically what it means is the woman he's with might have 90% of what he's looking for. And even though most people are lucky to have 90% in common with someone, he becomes so resentful of the 10% that she doesn't have that when a new woman comes along and embodies that 10%, he's so enthralled with the 10% that she does have that he starts to convince himself that it's 100% of what he wants. So he jumps ship like that, and down the line, he realizes that this woman only has 10% of what he's looking for, but it doesn't matter because he already left the 90% behind. Follow for more and good luck.
Because make men great again. Bring back the men who used to walk up fire escapes for women. Bring back the men who used to stand outside a girl's window with a boombox, singing love songs to her. Bring back men with backbones. Bring back the men who will not allow rejection to keep them from the woman of their dreams. Bring back the men who will see a beautiful woman sitting at the bar by herself and then go over there and talk to her or send a drink over to her. Bring those men back. Bring those men back who are not afraid of rejection. We like those men. We like them. It gives you 10 extra points. It gives you extra points to be a man like that.
I hate when girls be like, oh, I was a lover girl and just took advantage of me. You've never been a lover girl in your life. You literally just went the whole relationship not getting by another. That's all you did. Like, you've never fully submitted to it at all. You've never been all over it You just was letting only him crack and say, oh, I'm a lover girl. You weren't. You were not being a full-on submissive woman. That's not what you were doing. I hate when y'all say shit like, oh, I was a lover girl before. You be like, so everything he told you to do, you was just listening to it? No, I'm not listening to what nigga say. So what did you do? What did you do that was such a lover girl? You told him I love you and slept in his bed and rode his meat? So all you did was let him crack? You did nothing. You could ask him, did you buy him a bunch of gifts or something? What were you doing? I was loving him. You didn't do anything. You were never a lover girl ever in your life. You just keep saying you were. No, you always been this way. You always been a cheater. You just was with him for like a year or two and didn't let nobody else crack. And you thought that meant you were a lover girl. That's not how it works. Y'all be most of the time. And just because you were a little less hoish at one relationship, you think that meant you were a lover girl. No, you weren't.
It don't matter how old a man gets, he's always going to have options. Younger, finer, fitter, willing. They wasted all their time telling all these good men, oh no, you're not my type, and you too broke for me. Y'all brag about the fact that y'all don't cook. You brag about the fact that you're not cleaning for nobody. You brag about the fact that you're selfish. You brag about all these things that are contrary to what a man wants. What happens is they start approaching that wall. Once they are approaching that wall, or once they hit it, they already got kids. They're not in their prime anymore. And then they get frustrated and try to convince other women that they also don't need men because now they no longer qualify. Now what are you left with? You're broken, used, washed up, your self-worth, your dignity, all of that done gone. Now what you gonna do? You love talking about yourself and you can do bad all by yourself and it's all about me and because I'm the one, because I'm the prize. Where are your results then? If you the prize, who the prize winner? If you the prize, where is the collector of the prize?
So for real, for a second, how are men not the prize in relationships? As women, we expect men to approach us first, plan the dates, pay for the dates, drive everybody to the dates, provide, protect, stay loyal to us, keep themselves looking good, keep calm in all of the situations and never freak out. And they have to do all of this without complaining. Because, God forbid they do complain, then all of a sudden they're too emotional. Or God forbid they don't make 6 figures and all of a sudden they're broke. Or God forbid they're not taller than you and all of a sudden he's too short. Or God forbid somebody tries to set boundaries and oh my God, he's too controlling. And then you're doing all of this while simultaneously yelling at him that he's replaceable and you can have any man that you want. Or you're saying that you don't need a man actually and you can do everything you want by yourself and you don't need anybody to tell you anything. And it doesn't make any sense. At a certain point we have to stop yelling at men and expecting them to be superheroes and then getting mad at them and criticizing them like dogs whenever they act like a human being. Maybe men are the prize and we just need to start appreciating what they bring to the table a little bit more.
All these men that are standing in between us and the bad things that are going to happen to us because we don't have rights to our own bodies, and the men never came out to protest that. They never came out and was give the women Roe v. Wade back so that they don't have to worry about from sepsis, so they don't have to worry about being tracked across state lines because it's not safe for them to carry the pregnancy to term. We're not even talking about elective at this point anymore. We're talking about medically necessary are not happening and women are being tracked across state lines to prevent them from getting medically necessary health care. Trigger warning, but a fetus is not, you're not saving a baby anymore.
Right. Absolutely not. They
but
never were.
Women are being prevented from that procedure, the removal of that.
After emphasis on it, the doctor said it's, and they're forcing a lot of women to keep these fetuses that you're going to eventually go septic. And
right. And so I'm where are all the men standing in between that and women? There's literally zero. Not in the government, not in outside, not anywhere.
Please tell me y'all have seen the video of the girl and her boyfriend that are in the car arguing because he is upset that she told the waiter at the restaurant that he was unemployed and he could not pay the tab. Yes, y'all. So he is 38 hot with his girlfriend. He's basically saying she divulged too much information to that waiter. It was not the waiter's business, that he was not capable of paying that bill, that she should have just handed over her debit card or her credit card so that he can present as if he was the one that was actually paying the tab. her justification was, well, no, I'm the one that's paying it. I mean, I did accidentally slip up and say that you was unemployed, but it wasn't a lie. Was she wrong, y'all? Was she doing too much? I think so. I think it wasn't the waiter's business that he's unemployed and that she was paying, but at the same time, I feel like it was kind of a vengeful thing, a thing out of spite that she did to say that, to try to emasculate him possibly. But y'all finna tag the video so y'all can go watch it. Come back and let's talk about it in the comments. Was she wrong, or is he justified in his anger, in his frustrations in the situation? Let's talk about it in the comments.
Slept with the wrong woman and then whole life went like that.
Bro, listen.
Real bad.
Listen, bro, the 3 most important decisions you're going to make as a man is who you hang around, what you do for a living, and who you lay down with. And the who you lay down with is probably the most important, because look at it like this, right? And I'm speaking metaphorically, but think about it, right? You got 2 legs. This you, this your partner. Imagine one leg is broke. No matter how hard you try to go, you're going to be limited because of that broken leg, broken arm. It's because it's half of you. Yeah. So when you think about that, right? Think about it. When you think about, like if you by yourself, you got both your legs. The moment you get in a relationship, you surrender half, essentially, right? Metaphorically speaking. If that leg is broken in any way, that leg want to go this way and go this way, you're going to split. If that leg don't want to move,
it's not moving.
You understand what I'm saying? So you can't just be out here. You gotta make it make sense.
Yeah.
Like you have to make it make sense, because if you choose the wrong partner, that's like having one leg, one arm, one half of your body not working. No matter how much energy and effort you put into it, if that leg don't work, you can't run that fast. I can use a car for easier terms. If one of the wheels is flat, you ain't going nowhere. Most people are, men and women, laying next to flat tires. They don't want nothing. They don't have no dream for you. They don't see no, they just own a car. They just have.
This generation of men want submissive provider wives. Like they say they want a traditional submissive woman, but they also expect her to split the mortgage. As a divorce lawyer, I've seen the math on this and it never adds up. We're watching men ask for the emotional labor of the 1950s and a financial partnership of 2025. They want a woman who is quiet, agreeable, soft-spoken, but also one that works full-time, manages the home, raises the children, and somehow still makes them feel like a king when he enters a room. That is not a partnership, that's a contradiction. Because what they're really wanting is someone who makes money but doesn't make any noise, who only speaks when spoken to, who never nags but always nurtures. And if she dares set a boundary or voice a need, suddenly she's too much. This version of modern masculinity is confused. It wants control without responsibility. It wants submission without support. It wants her to carry the weight emotionally, financially, domestically, but not ask where he's been or why his phone is always on do not disturb. This is not about shaming men. It's about calling out the disconnect, because real partnership isn't about domination or submission. It's about mutual effort, mutual respect, and mutual growth. You don't get to cherry pick the parts of tradition that benefit you and ignore the parts that require you to show up. So if a man wants to lead, he better know how to carry, not just the bills, but the emotional load, the hard conversations, and the 2 a.m. teething baby. Otherwise, he's not asking for a wife, he's asking for an employee. And if you ask me, no high-value woman is clocking into that job.
Women think men are easy until they try to get married. And since they typically only want to hitch their wagons to high-value dudes, many of them are woefully unprepared for the challenges they suddenly encounter in this process. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. Women have to offer something other than their access in order to secure commitment. Now, many women listen to this and think, well, geez, Orion, I have a lot to offer. I'm well-traveled, I have a master's degree, I have a position as an associate manager, I make $100,000 a year. I think I come with a lot. And I'm here to tell you that men don't care about any of that shit. They don't. It's the cat that decides what milk is good, right? Women seem to think they can dictate what men should value while simultaneously dismiss the things that men actually do. To secure commitment, a woman needs to be useful to the man in question, and she cannot create unnecessary problems in his life. High-value men want warm, supportive, feminine women. You're there to help him realize his mission. He's not there to help you realize yours. Your mission gets realized in the process of realizing his mission. Like, that's what's expected of anyone who serves on another person's ship. And if that doesn't work for you, that is perfectly all right. But you might have to build your own ship and seek to attract a passenger of your own. Just keep in mind that the men who you might want to attract, the men who already have their own ship, aren't ever going to give that up to be a passenger on yours.
You don't cook and you don't clean.
No, because when the default goes for women to cook and clean in a relationship, then I think that's also why so many people are struggling in relationships, because that's labor. So compared to women's labor, compared to men's labor, if he takes care of all the bills, it's still 5 jobs compared to his.
No. My husband does blue collar work, and what I do at home is nothing compared to what he does outside the house.
Okay.
And what does your husband do for work?
Oh, he does construction.
Does he do heavy machinery, or is he more
forklift, boom lifts, all kinds of lifts? Him doing what he's doing, coming home baked, looking like a freaking lobster. I'm not gonna complain about what I do at home. And he supports the whole family. Absolutely. And all I'm doing is, what am I doing? Cooking, cleaning.
What if you were working too? Like, would you want him to also clean and cook too?
He offers, but I tell him, no, sit your down, do not do a thing. You were just out there for like 12, 14, 16, sometimes 18 or more hours.
Oh, damn.
Why am I going to make him do all that? If it weren't for him, we wouldn't be in the building we're in. We wouldn't have the things that we have all around us.
Yeah.
So it's like they are literally the backbone to our society, building the infrastructure that we have all around us, the technology and all of that.
Yeah.
So I actually put my husband on that highest level of respect when it comes to the line of work he does. Because if it weren't for him and everybody else, where would we be?
Listen, I don't know who make them nowadays, man, here, but me need you to unmake them expeditiously. Because why am I coming from my run? Like, I am sweaty, stay bad, me look like me a struggle. And I come into the building and I'm passing the concierge and I'm like, oh yeah, I have a box to collect, right? The concierge proceeds to tell me, no, I have several boxes to collect. So me now, I struggle with my accoutrement and 4 men stand up at the elevator. I try to get into the elevator and one of the elevators not working. You know, I shout out, I'm like, can you hold the elevator for me? Because they weren't going to do it otherwise. So them hold the elevator, I go for buzz and it not work. So me say, all right, me come off. Them follow me off of the elevator. Me a hold, me 15 bucks them, you know. And me say, we'll try the next elevator. Somebody else is already on there. So them push past me to go into the next elevator. And I'm like, could you hold the elevator? No. Them me have to push and try and get in there. It's not working. And the 4 of them catch up in there. And now make no space for me. So I'm like, you know what? Let me come off and go use the 3rd elevator by myself. Because none of these men have no chivalry. The whole of them stay bad. I mean, I don't know where them come from, but them need to go back under them mother, because this is crazy.
I'm breaking up with the guy I'm dating because of what he did to me while I was on the toilet the other day, and I'm not joking.
Okay, I guess we're going hard today. Here's what happened. He said there's no toilet paper. She went to the bathroom anyway. Then she asked for toilet paper. He said no, and then she screamed for help to the whole neighborhood and was stricken with toilet paper. I was asked for my reflections on this matter. Who's in the wrong? It's this guy. I think most of us know that. Here's why. Everybody's life is going to have some good and some bad decisions, sometimes by accident and sometimes on purpose. These, of course, are always okay. These would be never okay. Sometimes people will do something wrong on purpose and try to convince you otherwise. But wrong accidents, I'm going to give this big yellow caution light. Let's call these good, bad, lucky, and dumb. Now, you should reward this behavior and resist this. Don't let people do things wrong on purpose. This depends on the situation. Like, if you're a Bitcoin millionaire, don't put it all in Monero. But part of being in a relationship is supporting people when they make mistakes. Now, I'm sure this guy has a long life of being not listened to and then things going wrong, and then he has to suffer for it. But this was probably an accident and not bad behavior. And even if it was, that's not the solution for it. Sometimes we get tired of repeating ourselves. Please do things the right way. But if not listening to you is a bad behavior, like she's doing it on purpose, then you have to get rid of her. And if it's an accident, then you have to help.
Why is it that after a breakup, your ex can move on super quick, start dating someone new, and treating them better than they treated you? This is what happened after my 11-year relationship ended. My ex started dating a new girl within a matter of weeks, and it literally ripped my heart into shreds to see this. That was my first bad. I should not have followed him on social media after our breakup, but that's a whole different video. We can talk about that later. Regardless, seeing him move on and treat this new girl in ways that he didn't treat me broke my heart. I was like, how are you all going on trips together and you're taking her around your friends and you're doing these things that you would have never done with me, but you're doing them with her, someone you don't even know, someone who doesn't love you, someone who doesn't know you, and you're treating her like a princess, but you wouldn't have treated me like that. Felt like such a big injustice, and it honestly tore me up. But you want to know one of the main reasons why people do this? It actually comes down to protecting their own self-concept. Because after a relationship ends, when a person knows subconsciously that they did not treat you well, they have to prove that they're still a good person. So they'll find a new partner and they'll start to treat them so well just to prove to themselves that they weren't the problem in your relationship, that they are capable of treating someone well. And doing this proves to them that you were the problem. In their mind, they twist it like, look, I'm treating this new person great. I am a great partner. And therefore, in their subconscious, it kind of lets them off the hook because they're like, no, see, the problem wasn't on me. The problem was on my ex. But this facade doesn't last forever. It's just a way to avoid processing and taking accountability for their role in the breakdown of your relationship.
I've seen the recent discourse on here about how men don't really understand what casual relationships are. I want to go one step further than that and say that I don't think men think dating is fun.
No, and I'm glad we're actually finally talking about it because this is a large reason of why I stopped dating entirely. Because yes, it wasn't just like one thing, but this was a very large part of it. And I haven't been on a date in like almost a year, maybe over, but I kept running into only two types of men it seemed to exist in the dating pool. And that was either the man who would take you out on one date and decide that he was in love with you. And you could feel the engagement bells going off in his head. After one singular date, they would become obsessed. And I didn't want anything to do with that because obviously we do not know each other after one date. This has nothing to do with me, clearly. Like, these men were locked in on the thought of getting married. And I honestly thought it was just an age thing at this point. But then you do bring up a good other perspective, which is the other kind that is like, it's so casual. They're not even treating you like humans. And the vibes are giving like you're going to end up in somebody's trunk. And that's what the dating apps seem to be left with these days. And I do think there's two things to blame here. Obviously, right? Capitalism, stress of the world. Everyone is just tired. But you don't see women doing this. So then the other option is also the manosphere, because the manosphere teaches you two types of living, right? One, get as many girls as you can and treat them like garbage to prove you're like an alpha male Chad. Or two, get a wife, have kids, a home, traditional family values. And if you think about it, this also ties back perfectly to the male loneliness epidemic. Yes, men are proving they cannot casually date women, get to know them, have fun, learn things about them, because they also are proving they can't do that with their own friends. So women, like myself, are building our friendships. I have grown exponentially in girlfriends recently in the last couple of years, because you know what? Girls just want to have fun. It's true. Welcome to the women's sphere, ladies.
A lot of men... What they do is they say, man, if I see you in the grocery store, I'm probably just buying milk. I'm probably just buying some bread. If I see you in the grocery store, I just saw you. That's it. I'm not approaching anybody no more, bro. I'm not even going to try. I'm not looking in your direction. Not at all. Because y'all act a fool. Y'all act a plumb fool when a man sit up there and try to be a friend. When a man sit up there and try to take you seriously. I want a man to approach in a while. I go in there and approach in a while and you act stupid. It's flat out stupid. And you want me to, oh, well, yeah, no, you just come and approach me. No, I'm not. You're an idiot.